What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about SoFi. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what really moved it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi had a pretty solid day all around, went up 6.6%, 29.86 the high, 27.60 the low, and just shy of around 74 million shares being traded. Once I go over some of the institutional transactions from today, it might hype you up a little bit more, but today we only had one data point, and that was ISM manufacturing. So a smaller control group came in at 47.9, forecasted 48. Didn't really move the market all that much. So today we did have that pre-existing momentum that was starting to form from Friday that rolled over into this week. Plus, we did have a lot of that interesting stuff from Venezuela. Ultimately, the market saw Trump kind of handling their oil as a positive, and plus the fact that no country really did any serious retaliation. That was kind of just brushing everything under the rug. So at the end of the day, market kind of liked that, or at least accepted it as a pretty good positive. And then CES is kicking off, and so historically that always causes tech and AI to really move higher. Right now we have the keynote still going on, so pretty good stuff for that. And so this is officially kicking in the 6th to the 9th. So don't be surprised if you see some abnormal price action with SoFi and many other kind of fintechs. They'll just be largely piggybacking off of kind of what's happening in the broader market. SoFi didn't really put out anything today, so no fireside chats, no interviews. One thing I did want to bring up, it's kind of old information, but I've been receiving a couple comments about it, and that was this. So the recent offering that was announced on December the 4th, 2025, and so some individuals are asking about this. So the 30-day option for the underwriters to purchase an additional 8.1 million shares. Technically, as of today, SoFi would have had to have announced that already because we're past the 30 days. So it is fair to assume that the underwriters didn't do that 8.1 million. So no additional dilution. And even if they did, if you think about it, 8 million is kind of a drop in the bucket, considering there's 1+ billion for the outstanding share count. I'll give you an accurate number shortly, but even if they did or didn't, I don't think that 8.1 million is going to be that big of a deal. Plus, most of this 30 days, SoFi was actually trading below the 27.50, so it wasn't really advantageous for underwriters to actually go through with it and to buy it. They could have just went to the open market and got a cheaper price. Of course, they couldn't have predicted what happened today, but just wanted to kind of bring that up because, again, I've received a couple comments on if this is something to worry about. I feel like retail always panics over dilution. So this most likely didn't go through, and even if it did, it's not that big of a deal. Shorts, they did return 273,000 shares. 9.6% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 119 million shares overall being shorted. So when it comes down to today and shorts returning, it kind of does justify today's green day. At the same time, one thing I've brought up on occasion is naked shorting. It's kind of getting a little bit more balanced. So shares on loan being 119 and change, and this one is 119. So it is kind of leveling out a little bit. But while I'm actually on here, you can kind of see the shares outstanding, 1.26 billion. So again, going back over here, if the underwriters did do this, and there was about 8 million or 8.1 million in additional dilution, it's a drop in the bucket. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion. But getting right to options, we had 90 million in calls, 15 million in puts. So 104 million overall in options. 47% of all of it was done bullish, or was bullish in nature. And you can kind of see that it's been a solid while since we've had over 100 million in options. So we had it done on this. So December the 5th, and then prior to that was November the 21st. So it's been a while, so definitely good to see a little bit more money getting into SoFi through options as well as common stock. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around 30 to 30.50 by the end of this week. Bears are anticipating for it to kind of be $28 and less. That's not really that much. When it comes down to the Elliott Wave technicals, it is projecting for SoFi to be between that 30.44 and 31.90 in the short term. So don't be surprised if you see some pretty good price action, or maybe if you see the options start to represent that in the next couple of trading days, because people, will start buying 30 and higher call options. When it came down to some of the transactions occurring on the secondary market, these were it. So a lot of big money was getting into SoFi. Big transactions today were 118 million, 29 million, 14, 10.2. And I did see a lot of individuals posting on social media just saying, hey, is today's green day, is it like just a bull trap or is it legitimate? From most of the stocks I actually looked at, it was actual institutions buying, no different than this. So big money does believe that this is a real deal push higher, not just a bull trap. So something as well just to kind of keep in mind. But aside from that, with it right now at 29.28, it is right above this R1. So 29.26 is going to be a key level. You really want to watch for it to hold tomorrow. And then 30.50 followed by 32.51 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. On the actual chart itself, things are looking pretty a-okay. So it was able to burst above not only that 10, 100, but it did also get above that 50-day moving average. And in SoFi's case, that 50-day moving average is a very big deal. So typically you do need 2 consecutive days above a kind of moving average to signal a trend. So tomorrow's going to be a very big day. So if SoFi can hold some of these gains and stay above 28.10, which is fair to assume that it will, then you should see kind of some pretty good price action. So nice move higher, similar to what happened way back here back in 2025 when it did finally break above that 50-day moving average. Very similar price action to what is happening now. So definitely a lot of optimism in the broader market. Looking at the market position, you similarly see a lot more willing buyers, and all SoFi needs is that nice gentle push, and I've kind of been mentioning this over the last several videos. All it needs is that nice gentle push, and then it could easily be back at that $30 to even $31. So definitely big things might be coming. Nothing really crazy though for any articles coming out, no new analyst ratings. So it was just merely piggybacking off the broader market, but nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with SoFi? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.